guys, thanks for tuning in. So today we're going to check out the Alien X250 quadcopter. This is the FPV version. Let me flip the box over here, which has the controller with 5.8 FPV screen on it. We'll have the links down in the description, so be sure to check out that link if you're interested in this guy. But anyway, what we're going to do today is just unbox this. We're going to go through a thorough inspection and setup. I'm going to go ahead and also have the flight test up. Then we're also going to come back to the bench and do a final pros and cons afterthoughts on this one as well. So anyway, let's go ahead and take it out of the box here. Okay, so opening up, we have our instruction manual on top. We have the XK Alien here sitting in there nicely. Let's go ahead and get everything out of the box and then we'll talk about it. We have these little foam guards on the controller. And here's the controller here. Looks like this is where you're going to mount up the screen on top. Then we have this other little bag here that has a battery and the propellers. And let's see what we get underneath. So it looks like underneath we have a couple of other bags here. This is going to be our FPV stuff. Let's go ahead and see what we get. We get 4 propellers, extra propellers. So that's great. Good job, XK. By the way, XK is a company that makes the XK Detect GPS Smart Quad. They're really good GPS quad that I've reviewed and made a bunch of videos on. So I think this is a pretty good company. They're doing pretty good with their products. They make some quality products and they work pretty well compared to other manufacturers. But anyway, I'm just going to open up a couple more bags here. In this bag here, we're getting some hardware for the FPV mount up. And we also get a micro SD card and a charger. This looks like a charger for our screen, so I'll open that up real quick just in a second. We get a USB thumb drive with a 4 GB card for our recording that we can plug into our computer to watch our videos afterwards. And this will be the FPV mount up brackets. There's a battery here in a separate bag. Looks like these guys have done a really good process at packaging too, compared to some others. And everything is really well labeled here. It looks like they have their branding on the battery, a nice sticker of their own, and they also put on here, it's a 1S 3.7 volt 780 mAh on the battery. So pretty good battery. It looks like it's nice quality with the JST connector on the end there. Then we have another bag here, and it looks like this bag is going to incorporate a screwdriver and also the actual charger that's going to charge the battery itself. So you have our other side of the JST connector here, which is going to charge this battery. So that's the charger. And then we have a 5.8 gigahertz antenna. It looks like this is going to mount up to the FPV screen, which should be in this bag. We've got some little bit of foam paper packaging here to protect it. And so here's the FPV screen. I'm going to go ahead and mount this antenna up here right away so I don't lose it. So the antenna just screws on top there, and you can rotate it any way you want. And then here's the screen here. Just going to open it up, see how it looks. Okay, a little bit shiny. So the screen is going to be shiny, so it looks like there's going to be some glare. Usually like to see screens like this be kind of a matte, flat finish because the reflection really does pick up a lot of glare when you're outside in the sun. So anyway, that's the screen here. It looks like maybe a 5-inch or so screen. We have our on-off button here. You can see just by turning it on we have some static there because it's not connected. And it looks like we have our battery monitor there up in the top corner to show us the charge on our battery in here, and it's going to be a LiPo battery in there. And then so here's how you charge it. Basically the charger comes with this adapter that you just stick in here, and then you'd plug this into any cell phone or computer to charge this. Kind of the same thing that you would do with the battery here. Just charge into any cell phone wall adapter or computer to charge the battery as well. So there's the screen. Anyway, finally getting to the craft. Here it is. So here is the XK Alien X250, and I like the design. It looks like their XK is really kind of kicking it up a notch to really make their craft stand out from all the rest of them. We can see here that we have the propellers mounted right up, and we have these little rubber feet here on the bottom. And the camera with the 5.8 gigahertz antenna is mounted to the bottom as well. And it looks like it's just mounted, it's just kind of snapped in there. And then we have our JST connector here for power, just kind of mounted in there nice and tidy. Everything looks like it's high quality. The fit and finish on this thing is really nice. I'm really impressed with the fit and finish on this. Just the quality of the work and the craftsmanship is pretty good. Kind of reminds me, the motors kind of remind me of maybe the U807 type of motors where they have that shaft coming all the way down. It looks like this should be pretty durable. Then the lighting, if it lights up this whole arm, it should be pretty good too. Let's go ahead and just plug that in real quick and see the lighting. There we go. Okay, so we can see the lighting. It kind of shines and shines through all the way to this portion. It just looks like it's reflecting all the way through, and then we have a light on the back as well. And then the front's got these yellows. So it looks like orientation is going to be really good when we're flying. Even from the side here, we can see the red on the back easy enough. And even from the top and the bottom. So really good lighting on this for visual night flying and for orientation reference. But anyway, that's the craft. Here's the camera. And I just can't get away from how cool this thing looks. Definitely a very cool design. Very original. And there is no other landing gear you have to put on. It looks like these little feet here are going to stick down farther enough below the camera to just be setting down like that when you're ready to fly. Okay, so let's go ahead and put on the FPV kit, and then we'll talk about the controls. So as far as the FPV kit, this bracket here, you just push this in the back there. Kind of slides in nice and tight. And then this other bracket here, okay, so the bracket on the screen is kind of like this swivel, little built-in bracket here. And then it actually can go into this other bracket. It slides in and then it snaps in to the bottom of it. Let's make sure we can, there we go. So that's snapped in, so you see how we can swivel the screen. And then this portion here just going to go down on here and screw in to the bracket we just put on the back. And it's just going to screw in with these little thumb screws, and they also give you these little nuts here. So it looks like the nuts are going to go in this top portion. I'm really having a problem putting them in just with my fingers, so I decided to just kind of screw the nut on here and then use the actual screw as kind of a tool to push these in. There we go. Okay, so you can see that, how I just kind of use that as a tool to push those in. So I'd recommend doing something like that, or else you're going to have a really hard time pushing these nuts down in their little slots. I guess that's just the way they're fitting in there is a little bit tight. So again, just lightly screwing it on the screw here, and then lining up how it should go, and then pushing it in so it snaps like that. And then going ahead and backing the screw back out. So those are in like that. And now we can go ahead and mount it directly onto the controller bracket easily. So we're just sliding this over and then easily just putting in the thumb screws, and now they can just screw right into the nuts we put on. So go ahead and crank these down nice and tight, finger tight, so this TV screen doesn't slide off of this little mount here. So once you do that, you're all set. So there you go, you've got your screen mounted up to the controller, we've got our antenna on, and we're ready for FPVing. So as far as the controller goes, opening up the back of the controller, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 AA's it takes in the back, and the door clicks on nice and tight. It's not going to slide off. And if you do have trouble, they give you this little setup video on the FPV screen, like how I just did. This little separate pamphlet here shows how to put that all together. The last thing in the box here is the instruction manual. It's going through all the parts, how to fly the craft, and here's what all the controls do. Okay, so what it's saying here on the controls basically is, of course, your left thumbstick is going to be your throttle. So this will go higher, lower. Here's your yaw to make the craft go left and right. You have your pitch and roll, so forward, back, roll left to right like this. Then it's saying this top little trigger button here is going to be your short press for return to home function, and then a long press is going to be for your headless mode. So the return to home, you basically just click it one time and it will come back to you. And then the headless function is when you do hold it, it'll go into the mode where you can be basically in any yaw, and back will always be back, left will always be left, right will always be right, forward will always be forward. So no matter which direction the craft is facing. Then on the top right trigger, it's saying that these are the photo and video functions. So short press, one click, would be taking a photograph, and a long press would be starting and stopping your video. Then on the right stick here, it looks like we're just clicking in one time and pushing left or right or up and down, and that'll do our flips. And then if we do click and hold this right button here, that should turn off and on our lights on the craft. And it's not really explaining in the instruction manual, but it looks like these are going to be our trims for all of these sticks here as usual. Okay, so putting the SD card into the camera, basically you're just grabbing the SD card out of your thumb drive they give you in the box. And then it looks like, let's see, looks like the wording is going to be on top. So you're going to want to make it so the wording's on top, and then just go ahead and push it in until you hear a click. And it should be in there, ready to record your videos and pictures. Cool, so anyway guys, let's go ahead and get this thing charged, power this up, also get the screen charged. And in the next video, I will go ahead and have a flight test of this thing. So anyway, let's get in the park. Let's do some house flight. Let's do some park flight. We'll get some hat cam video of this thing going. We'll also have some video of how good the pictures and the video of this thing are up on the screen. Put this thing through its paces, and then we'll come back and do another video for the pros and cons as well on the XK250 Alien. I will have the links down in the description down below of what you can click on and where to purchase this, so be sure to check that out. Anyway guys, I do a lot of videos like this on reviews, flight tests, modifications, all kinds of stuff on RC and tech. So be sure to check out the channel. I think you'll like it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let's go test this out, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.